If you're looking to create more interesting lighting effects for your haunt, but you're not ready to take the leap into high-tech prop controllers, stick around. In this video, I'm going to show you a low-tech way to create moody Halloween lighting. To get started, we'll need a few pieces of lumber, a low RPM motor, a light socket assembly, and a deli container. I pre-cut the lumber that will make up our frame, one piece at 10 inches and two pieces at 5 inches, and I'm going to drill some pocket holes with my Kreg jig for easy assembly. You could also use a standard butt joint for this. I'm also going to drill 2 holes for our wires to pass through. Now that we've got the drilling done, we're going to set aside the frame and wire up our light socket. If you saw our electric lantern video, this step will be familiar to you. I'm going to take a small length of wire, strip off about a ½ inch of the sheathing on both ends, and we'll connect one end to the screw terminals on the socket assembly and set it aside. Next up, we're going to take one of our 5-inch pieces of wood and attach our low RPM synchronous motor. You want to align the motor shaft with the center of the piece of wood about an inch in from the front edge. Once you've determined the position, take 2 screws and mount it in place. Now grab the second 5-inch piece of wood and we're going to determine the location for the lamp socket. I like to mock assemble my frame to help figure out this alignment. When I'm happy with the location, I'll mount the socket to the wood. With our frame pieces done, we can focus on the deli container. This container will be the element of the build that will create the variation in our lighting. I'm going to start by applying these cloud-shaped stencils around the container. This could be done in a variety of ways, most easily with painter's tape. The actual shape isn't as important as the spacing, since they won't appear as hard-edged silhouettes, but more so as just changing in the brightness of light. You'll want to create 3 cloud shapes, about 4½ inches wide, and space them around the container. 1 high, 1 in the middle, and 1 low, being sure not to overlap them. Next, we'll create a mounting hole in our container. I'm going to heat up the end of an awl and slowly create a small hole in the bottom of the container. This will be where we mount it to our motor. With the hole made in our container, we can start painting. Give it 2 solid coats of paint to ensure good coverage. I like to use 2 different colors of spray paint to help ensure that I haven't missed any spots. When the paint is dry, it's time to peel off our cloud shapes. If your cloud shapes don't come off cleanly, like they haven't for me, don't worry about it. Because you won't see a sharp edge on these shapes, no one will ever know. Now we have all of our parts ready and we can start final assembly. Take your container and with a small screw, lock washer, and standard washer, attach it to the motor. Both washers should be on the inside of the container. Next, screw in a light bulb to your socket and attach the pieces of the frame together. The last part of the build is adding an extension cord to power our light and motor. Start by feeding the wire leads from the motor and light socket through the 2 small holes we created. Then take the extension cord, clip off the female end, and strip off about a ½ inch of sheathing, and with 2 wire nuts I'm going to connect the motor and light socket to the extension cord. For some added strain relief, I like to attach a zip tie to prevent the connections from coming loose. The last thing to do is to test it out. This effect, while simple in nature, creates a unique movement to your lighting. The speed of your motor will determine the subtlety of the effect. A slower motor will be less noticeable, but create a more interesting atmosphere, while a faster motor will be more eye-catching. Well, that's going to do it for this video. If you want to see more tutorials like this one, be sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and hit the notification bell to be alerted the next time we put out a new one. And until then, happy haunting.